So today we discussed the weather conditions, and we are going to be looking at different weather conditions. And the objective of the lesson is that we should be able to observe different weather conditions and describe how they look like, and want to develop a study regarding how each of them behaves. So the first one is the sunny conditions. A given day, you may go outside and see the sun, and the sun might look like it appears in this diagram. So this is a general very fair weather. The sky is blue. There are a few clouds. They are not covering the sun, and the sun is there. The symbol we use for the sunny day, we describe this one as sunny day, and therefore the symbol we use one is this one. So we just draw a sun. Sometimes we indicate that it has that light. So we might be asked, how do you describe a sunny day? And a sunny day is normally quite warm or hot, and therefore we describe this one as a fair weather. A fair weather. And we may have a different kind of a day in which it's rainy, and when it's on a rainy day, we first of all have this is the symbol we use for a rainy day. We have some clouds and some drops of some raindrops that are falling. And if I was to draw it using handwriting, I would just do something like that one. And this is how you describe a rainy day. But how does it look like on a rainy day? Of course, every one of us has seen the rain. And what we use during the rainy day is an umbrella. And you don't want to be rained on because you get very wet and it's quite cold. Therefore, you should put on heavy clothes like rain jacket and heavy clothing like jacket. So that is how a rainy day looks like. And the symbol we use is this one, or you can draw it just with some clouds that looks like take this shape and some drops that are falling. Another kind of weather condition is called windy. Windy is when there is a lot of moving air. So the moving air will cause the trees to bend on one side. So clearly the air is moving from this direction and towards this direction. And if you look at this image, what you see is that trees are like bent. Trees are bent, or they bend. We use the word bend. The trees are bending towards this direction. They are bending towards this direction, and therefore that is what we describe as a windy weather or windy day. So it might be a day or a night, but most of the times we just use a tree that are being blown by wind from this direction. This is the source of the wind. Coming from this direction is going to this direction, the direction we call destination. So this going in that direction, that is a windy weather or a windy day. Another weather condition that you might experience is a cloudy, or we can say it's a cloudy day, and we use this symbol. This is the symbol we use for cloudy day. We just draw some clouds that look like they take that shape, and therefore those ones say that they are clouds that are covering the sun. And therefore sometimes they can be dark, sometimes they can be light, but the weather we call it cloudy. If you go outside and you see the weather looking like this, then these are the ones we are describing in clouds. It's made up of clouds. The clouds sometimes might be heavy, they sometimes might be a bit bright, but the most important thing is that these are the clouds we are describing. Therefore, they might be covering the sun, and therefore you may not see the sun fully. And that is the 4 weather conditions. One of them is sunny, and when it is sunny, it's warm or hot, and we describe it as fair weather. And on that day, we just wear light clothes. We wear light clothes like t-shirt or vest or just a plain shirt. But in In a rainy day, we say the weather is cold and wet. And on that day, at least when it is rainy, we put on the weather jacket. We put on heavy clothing. And on cloudy weather, or on a windy weather, we see that it can also be quite cold. Sometimes it may be cold or chilly. So you may not put on very light clothing. You may still need some heavy clothing. And that is the main characteristic of a windy